1 week away until the season starts. Notable roster cuts and a familiar face back in KC. All this next on Chiefin.
Welcome, Chiefs Kingdom. Thanks for tuning in to this Red Kingdom Media production, bringing you raw, authentic Chiefs coverage. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on your team. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
Welcome to another episode of Chiefin. I'm your host, Dale Fowler, along with my partner, Lonnie.
Let's just see that. Let's hope the Chiefs come back and show that their regular self.
That's so Chiefs. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Chiefin. It has been a long off season, but we're definitely happy to be back. Of course, I'm your host, Daily Dale, along with my partner Lonnie. Lonnie, how you doing today? Brother?
Good. Happy to be back. Happy to be back home.
It's definitely going to be an awesome time. We got a lot to definitely talk about with everyone today. We definitely got some interesting topics. So let's go ahead and get into it. So JuJu's return. The Kansas City Chiefs reunited with wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster, who did not produce last year, which led to his release. What impressions do we have, and does it signal a move tied to a starting receiver?
Speaking of being back home, I like the move to bring Juju back home. I think it brings the Chiefs some relief in bringing in a veteran guy, which that's who they brought Hollywood Brown in to be. Barring that he got that crazy shoulder injury coming in, and being that he won't be able to play going into the season. I do think that's why they made the move. Now, as far as them preparing for suspension with Rashee Rice of any sort, or not just moving forward and trying to figure out if he might be missing long term. I think that this may suffice for that, but I don't see any suspension coming, being that he hasn't received anything moving forward, just as far as showing that he may be out for a lengthy amount of time. However, I do like the move, and I just think it brings a lot of depth, just in case one of those guys are going to be out, as far as Rashee Rice already being out, and then Hollywood Brown missing some time. Well, not Rashee Rice not being out, I'm sorry. And Hollywood Brown missing some time as far as his shoulder injury. So I like the move. I like the depth that it provided. And I don't see it providing any depth as far as Rashee Rice missing any time or anything like that.
I'm very excited. At first, I had my questions and I had my worries, but at first I was like, man, I don't think the Chiefs is going to go ahead and bring him back. I didn't see the history of us not actually bringing a lot of people back who were on the market who could have come back to Kansas City Chiefs. So I thought that boat has sailed for Juju Smith-Schuster, but I think with his enthusiasm and understanding, knowing that last season, he did not live up to his potential. He didn't come through for the New England Patriots like he was supposed to. When he came back into the market and understood that, he needed to find a team that he can become a part of, he said it in his interview as well too, that he was familiar with Kansas City. He has that, connection in that relationship with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid already. So it was just the best available spot for his decision going forward with his career. So hearing that, it made me excited for the move, because knowing what we dealt with last season, people forget that the year that he came in 2022, he went for 933 yards, was the leading receiver on our team, and honestly, they put it out there as well too. We had more big plays in that season than the prior season before, when we had Tyreek Hill. Seeing a guy like Juju Smith-Schuster coming back into the system, all that allows is it allows other guys on that team to actually, utilize the weapons that we do have on the roster and be able to create opportunities for them. A guy like Xavier Worthy, who was just now drafted, you don't have all that weight on your shoulders right now, because we have our guys in Juju, Rashee Rice, even a veteran at Hollywood Brown, but he's going to be out the first couple games, be able to be out there, and it's going to, let him actually figure out the offense, figure out the system, and kind of grow in that. So bringing Juju back not only helps the offense with getting more touches and having, the better weapons than what we had from last season, but you also allow another leader, another veteran in the room to where you can help build up someone like a Xavier Worthy and the other guys who is coming up as well too, who are going to be young and on a roster where you have that knowledge of someone who he did his time in Pittsburgh was very phenomenal. He came over to Kansas City, was able to work himself back up into being that top being in the top receiver talks. So at the same time, just seeing him come back, I just enjoy seeing that, and I love seeing the smiles as well too. So Juju, I'm definitely happy for you to be back in Kansas City. I do think that this was a smart move for the Chiefs, and I think it is going to benefit us going forward in the season, seeing that we have a veteran receiver who already understands the system and can add on top of what we were missing last season.
As far as not providing, when I was alluding to this, not providing a ton of depth as far as being that Rasheed Rice, Rasheed Rice has not been suspended yet. So I think that the depth is gonna be it's a ton of depth there, but I just feel like it may just get a little crowded. Being that's why I feel like Kadarius Toney and a lot of different guys just didn't make the roster this year. So that's why I was saying is as far as I it provides a lot of depth, but I don't think that it. I think it makes the room just a little bit more crowded per se. But it does bring a veteran in there just to mend the absence of Hollywood Brown, which they bring in to be a veteran. So I like the depth move, but I think it might make it a little bit more crowded too as well.
I agree, bro. Like, I'm not even going to shy away and say what you said was even incorrect. I think it's a lot of moving parts that's going on. We have our ups, but we do also have our worries as well too to see how this actually goes. But knowing the Kansas City Chiefs, knowing Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, they're going to have something together and they're going to have a plan for that. And I think that's why they're comfortable with that as well too. All right. So before we go into our next topic, please make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, follow us on all social media platforms at Red Kingdom Media. Please go ahead and connect with us, tap in with us because we do love the engagement. We love going back and forth with everyone. Also, if you want to come on the home of the Chief to be a guest on their podcast where they're talking about your fandom and also talking about any current events in Chiefs Kingdom at that time, please apply to that Google Doc form that we do have in the link. Please apply to that. That way we can get you on in future weeks. And then you can also, say that you got on one of your favorite YouTube channels, And then also you can subscribe to our Substack as well. That's where we do our daily newsletter and also have our articles that we push out that we're going to be doing before the game and then also a post-game article as well too. So please check those out. Also, if you're looking for some Red Kingdom merch as well, please make sure to go click on the link in that description and go ahead and put it in that order for you and get a shirt sent out to you. So please support the channel. Tap in. We greatly appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get into some more Chiefs talk right here. So we got our notable roster cuts. All right. With the cut down time already completed, they're kind of putting together the rest of the practice squad and everything like that. We had some notable cuts in that midst over the weekend coming into Tuesday. So Kadarius Toney, Justyn Ross, which Justyn Ross is back on the practice squad. That is confirmed. Rees-Zammit, he went over to the Jaguars, and then also Nikko Remigio as well too. We also was able to get him back on our practice squad. Were notable cuts during that time in Chiefs Kingdom. So, like I said already, some of them are on new teams. Others already have joined the practice squad as well too. So, out of all of what I just said, who comes as a surprise to you?
The most surprising to me has to be Justyn Ross and Nikko Remigio. I know some people will say Kadarius Toney, but I think Kadarius Toney's rope had ran thin with the Chiefs being that he had such a down year last year. It was just kind of expected for him to be cut. But I think Justyn Ross and Nikko Remigio are guys that I think we thought just in general had a ton of upside for the Chiefs. They were cheaper guys, undrafted free agents, guys that can come in that were not at a high price point for the Chiefs, such to the likes of Kadarius Toney, who we're still going to be feeling the effects of his cap hit. So if that really surprised me to see Kadarius, I mean to see Justyn Ross and Nikko Remigio walk. However, just as far as some of the most surprising not making the 53, to be honest, I know it has to be Kadarius Toney. I know it. I didn't say he when he got cut. It didn't surprise me that he got cut, but just not making a 53-man roster. It's just like this is a guy that we wanted him to be the best. We thought he was going to be a Tyreek. We knew who he was coming in. A super duper good end around guy. Had a ton of upside. However, I just think Kadarius might have lost his sight and love for the game in some type of way, in some type of fashion. I just don't think he loved the game as much as he loved his rapping career. Honestly, I just think he didn't really respect it. He did go to a ton of Super Bowls, and Kadarius did do a ton for us as Chiefs fans. The punt return in the Super Bowl, even the iconic play that will never be remembered. The touchdown that won't count, but was one of the greatest touchdowns in Chiefs history. So he has to be the most surprising to me that didn't make the roster. But just like as far as just being cut, it didn't surprise me that he was cut, but it just not making the 53 is just it was surprising to me though. I know that's a little kind of like a double entendre, but that's just kind of how it shakes up for me.
Who came to surprise to me the most was Nikko Remigio. Heard me rave about him a lot during the off season, and also, really just praised him for what he was able to do in that previous preseason as well. And then he ended up being injured, right? So not seeing him actually make the active 53-man roster, and Dave Toombs saying that he was going to push for him to make the roster as well too. It did come to a surprise to me. I know he had that unfortunate fumble in the preseason game where he had that big game and he was trying to get down, but he ended up getting ripped out. And that could been, the icing on the cake for that particular situation where it's like, okay, we want him to go back to the practice squad. But I do feel like, given the opportunity that he can produce in an actual live game where it actually means something. What I've seen from his, highlight tapes from college, and then also seeing what he has done in the league as well too in those preseason games. This guy, he's able to get open. He's able to create separation. He's somehow finds a way to, be seen by the quarterback, get the ball in his hands, and then make a play after that. So seeing him not make it to the active roster was disappointing, but I understand because we had a lot of guys who came in this offseason where you have to put them on the 53 man. It's nothing you can do about that. They deservingly need to be on there. Now going over to Kadarius Toney, y'all see me crash out about him on social media. Seen it on our own personal page, and me also talking about it in my personal live stream as well too. When I evaluated that whole situation, it was just looking at it as, when you think about it, he came in, he got traded, right? He got traded to the Kansas City Chiefs. Really didn't make no mistakes in that season that, made us mad. He made plays when it mattered. We all raved about him adjusting the gloves before the big catch, the Super Bowl punt return, and also that touchdown as well too. So then that next season, he has those mistakes, right? He had a bad year. But I feel like we didn't give him enough time to actually, get it, kind of find his rhythm. And then hearing Brett Veach, hype him up a lot, saying he's this best wide receiver, he's really a number one. It surprises you, bro. It surprises you. So I mean, I understand when I say that. I understand it. So what are you doing for me now? Type of league, and we have to respect that. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Nikko Remigio, he was the biggest surprise for me. I'm happy to see Rees-Zammit able to go out and get on the NFL roster and work himself up. Justyn Ross, happy to have him back because we want to see his potential actually grow, and we want to see that grow with us and get the best out of him because he was a star in Clemson. That's why he went ahead and they stole him as an undrafted free agent as well too. So it was meaningful. But it is what it is. For those who weren't able to make it to the team, you know, we hope something happens for you in the future. We hope you able to actually fulfill that your NFL dream. But congratulations to everyone that was able to make it to the 53-man roster. Carson Steele, can't wait to see what you do this upcoming season. But hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it
Yeah,
is. That's all you can say about it.
yeah, for sure. And just to clean it up, I wish Kadarius would have made it. Just cleaning it up. Like I wish he would have made it. The talent, there's so much talent there. We're not rooting against him. We want him to we wanted him to make our roster because we don't want him to be the person that ends up killing us in a game, because he can be that guy too. So we want to see the success of Kadarius Toney. We don't want to see the downfall, but I feel like Kadarius Toney has to want to see the success of Kadarius Toney too.
And hopefully KT can figure it out. Hopefully he'll be able to, get onto another NFL roster and actually reach that potential that he was supposed to reach. So, it's unfortunate that he left Chiefs Kingdom. We thank you for the time that you was here. You got 2 Super Bowl rings. You can still flex on the Giants fans who keep on coming after you. But hey, at the end of the day, whatever happens after that, whatever you do for the rapping career, the NFL career, we wish you well, and we do hope you find another home soon. All right, now finishing up on that, going into our last topic of the evening, late bloomer. So the Arizona Cardinals traded defensive end Thomas in their system. He was considered like a linebacker, outside linebacker, but they're pass rushers as well too, which is a former third round pick, came over to the Chiefs. Does this trade indicate troubles with Felix and his development as a debt move?
So I think this is an indication that Felix is not developing like the Chiefs hope for him to develop as a late first round pick. However, I think this confirms. I don't think this confirms that Felix is a bust of any sort. I think it's just sending Felix a message as to don't get comfortable, don't be satisfied with nothing, which is what you've done. I'm sorry, but you weren't a George Karlaftis in your first year. But you did get some playing time, and you did make some effective plays, an effective play in the Super Bowl. But you just don't get too satisfied. And I don't think he's moving at a rate that the Chiefs would like. And I think this just puts some fire behind um, and make him try and step it up, or he will be replaced. So I think the Chiefs also like to rotate guys at defensive end. So I don't want to say it as if like Felix is not doing what he's supposed to be doing. This could just be as far as a debt move, just in case you get a guy like Charles Omenihu back, or Dana, or some guys that even Chris Jones tends to get hurt sometimes at that defensive end position or that nose tackle position. So and Spags likes to rotate guys there. So but I do think it is alarming for Felix, being that he was a late first round pick, and he didn't see the field last year, and he's hoping to make an impact in this up and coming year, and it's going out and getting the defensive end. It's kind of alluding to you might not have the guys that you need to have at that position to compete. So I think it just may be time for Felix to get a little fire behind him and start figuring out some things at that defensive end position.
I agree with you, Lonnie. Honestly, it's no debate there. I really feel like looking at it and coming in and looking at the preseason, he just wasn't great, bro. He didn't have a great pass rush win rate. He wasn't getting consistent pressure. He was definitely getting held up at the line. And coming from like, regardless of how we felt about him when we went into that 2023 draft, and then being a reach, you being a first round pick, that's looking like bust material right there. And I think we're at that point now. I do think he can be a guy who stays on our practice squad, being a hometown local, being a part of a Super Bowl winning team as well too. They're going to definitely give him opportunities, and depending on if he feel like he has to go somewhere else to get more opportunities, that will be on him. I do think he'll have a place here, but it's just not going to be on that starting group. you're going to have to work yourself up into that rotation. So bringing in someone like Cam Thomas, who flashed in the preseason, who we saw actually, make some plays and be like, okay, we can come over here, he can come over here and we can get something out of him with the rotation that we have. I think that shows like, yeah, you're not where we want you to be at this time. Now, you still on your rookie contract. You still, like, regardless of how we go about it, like, you will go on that waiver claim next season if we was to release you or anything like that. But I think the Chiefs, they're okay with it. George Karlaftis, he has reached that potential where I said it. I think he's going to be a 15 sack guy. Mike Dana, last season, I thought like he was near 10 sacks. I'm okay with them on the edge. You have Chris Jones at times who goes on the edge as well too. So I think when you put it all together, Felix, if these guys are healthy and ready to go, we saw what happened when Aminu came back as well too. He didn't get that much time into the Super Bowl. So it's a possibility that that's why I'm not as disappointed, because you were already in this position before. What's going on is who is affecting the most is affecting Felix, because honestly, being a first round draft pick, picking you up, we really was hoping that we can probably move on from Mike Dana and you be aside George Karlaftis, and we have a young two-headed monster duo at the edge positions being pass rushers. That didn't happen. So Mike Dana comes back for another 3. We can help with the development, and hopefully from there something happens. But this is an indication that you're not developing at the pace that they expect you to develop at. And hopefully you can get that throughout the season and be able to show a couple flashes as well, because he is on an active 53-man roster. The thing is, did Cam Thomas take your reps that you were supposed to get? Because Charles Omenihu is going to be out. And you saw those reps when he was out last season and did something with it. So that's where it's confusing. It's like you wasn't that horrible. You actually, all right, then and there we gave you your props. Like, oh, the young guy came in and made a play. So it was awkward. I didn't get it. I don't like. It was weird.
The question is, do the Chiefs see something that we don't see? And I think that's the real question here. And I think that's the kind of the question that looms, just period. And I think that's kind of what you just alluded to. Are they seeing something that we can't see with Felix? We've seen the flashes there, but we haven't seen the down moments. And I think they've seen more down moments than up moments with Felix, which is why they made this move. Which is kind of scary for us because we don't know. Who are you saying it? Because this may be a Mike Dana move. They may see that he may be on the decline, or he may not be the person that we thought he was going to be. This could be a Malik Herring move, right? He was the guy that was rotating at that position. So it's kind of scary, being that he was just the latest guy drafted, being the first one hired, the last one fired. I mean, the last one hired, I'm sorry, is the first one usually fired. So being that he was the last one hired at that position, it's not looking good that somebody just came in at your position. So
and I was having debates on social media as well too. I was even telling people, I was like, because you heard me talk about it before the start of the season when we was on our off-season platform, Gridiron Gamut, and we was talking about what to expect from Felix this year. I was thinking that we were going to get like more out of him than what we seen last season with the flashes that we were getting throughout that. And for him to come in this preseason, it was frustrating. But I was having arguments with somebody. It was like, we should have went after Matthew Judon. We actually probably should have tried to trade for him. And when you think about it, it makes sense because his cap hit wouldn't have been anything this year. You would have got a veteran guy who a season like 2 years ago, after that season where he got hurt and he missed most of his time, that's why his sack total didn't show what it was. He had 10 plus sacks. So you would have had him on the other side of George Karlaftis, along with Omenihu coming back at like week 8, week 9, and then you got Chris Jones and Nadi, Warden, everybody in the middle. That would have been a scary unit. We would have definitely been getting home like we were supposed to. And that's what they want to see on the defensive line. That's what they're not seeing, Lonnie. That's what they're where they're saying. Like, I think with Cam Thomas, they can see a guy, if he can keep on going, he has that motor, he keeps on fighting through it, he's going to get home eventually. When we were watching the preseason games, he wasn't getting home at all. If you're staying towards the line of scrimmage, you're staying out of the peripheral of the quarterback, that tackle or guard, they're winning that battle. You're not doing anything. You're making it feel comfortable on that side of the ball. That's why at times where they utilize you to roll out and get out towards that way, because you're locked up by that offensive tackle or that offensive lineman, and he's not getting there. And they have it right here. Look, because I'm looking like that. The pass rush win rate, how low it matches what I saw on tape. It matched completely. Like he wasn't getting there. He wasn't getting home. You got to get home. You got to be able to collapse it, because this is what's going to happen. Chris Jones is going to do his job in the middle. He's going to force them to roll out and get outside of that pocket. That's why guys like George Karlaftis is succeeding, because his motor is high and he's going, and he's going to keep going. So once you get towards that, and he wins his battles as well too, he is definitely a strong pass rusher when he goes for strength. That's why he's succeeding. That's why you've seen that elevation in year 2.
Yeah,
It looks like we're not going to see that elevation with Felix, and he might be a guy who's on a practice squad, or we might see him released in the next couple of years. But the product that we saw on the field, that's why they went after Cam Thomas to kind of fill in for Aminihu being out for those weeks.
And I just want to say, it's probably some gamesmanship there with the Patriots, bro. You mentioned Judon. And trying to get there, that's gamesmanship all the way. It got to be. Belichick he's a guy, he's never carried anybody in conference ever to a possible conference opponent. So I think that was just a little bit of gamesmanship. Mayo is never going to give us a guy to be competitive against me. I don't see it working like that, or Robert Kraft, whoever's running that front office there. So I think it just may be a little bit of gamesmanship.
That's what they feel about the Kansas City Chiefs. We kind of talked about that before, alluded to that before as well too. So, with us being at the top of the food chain, everybody want to knock us off. They're not going to feed to that success. Now, when it comes to getting draft picks and you just got to move some stuff off, you see people make moves then, because it's just roster restructuring right there. They're not giving us the top superstars of the top superstars. That's just kind of maneuvering, getting everything around, so they're okay with that. But yeah, man, I feel it. That's true to that. Gerard Mayo coming in, don't want to give it to the competition already. He's trying to start a new foundation with the New England Patriots. So I understand. I definitely get it. But that concludes this inaugural episode in the 2024-2025 season to start off Chiefin. We definitely appreciate everyone supporting us, supporting the Red Kingdom Media family, supporting all our other pods, and then also our newsletters and our articles that comes out as well too. We appreciate everyone that taps in on a regular basis. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms at Red Kingdom Media, and also like and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well too. We're on the road to 200. We get to 500. We got a giveaway. Y'all got to help us get there so we can give something away. Do y'all want something? Come on. We hope everyone has a great rest of their night, depending on when you're watching it, maybe a great morning. But remember, we'll be here, and we'll see y'all next week before that season opener. But as always, got to end it off. Go Chiefs!
Thanks for checking out this update straight from the heart of Chiefs Kingdom. We appreciate your passion, so please leave a like and follow us wherever you tune in from. See you next tailgate, your trusted source for all things Chiefs, Red Kingdom Media.